Hello, good morning and welcome to NewsDesk. We start with the Chamber of Cement Manufacturers Ghana because they have submitted a petition to Parliament demanding the rejection of a proposed legislative instrument on cement price regulations. Stay with us because we will hear from the Chamber plus minority in Parliament which is blocking the lane of this LI.
And this House by convention has agreed that the subsidiary legislations, particularly in the form of legislative instruments and constitutional instruments, must go through pre-laying.
Also in this bulletin, former NPP National Chairman Freddie Blayh mounts spirited defense for his character as he takes on the Norton MP Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa for making what he calls wild allegations against him and his family.
The big front that some people are on the rooftop shouting that they be blocked and so forth by the Polo Beach Club. You could see more than half of it. It's also blocked. They have built a wall.
We have details as Okudzeto-Ablakwa claims that Freddie Blayh's son, Kwao Blayh, used his father's influence to take over the beachfront of Labaji Beach Hotel. We also have business all within the next 60 minutes. Thanks for choosing us. Now, we'll take you to Parliament shortly and also take you to the courts because we're receiving some breaking news. But the Chamber of Cement Manufacturers Ghana has submitted a petition to Parliament demanding the rejection of a proposed legislative instrument on cement price regulation laid in the House by the Trades Minister, Katie Hammond. Now, the Chamber criticizes the lack of consultation with key stakeholders and calls for a collaborative approach to address the underlying causes of cement price escalation. We will engage leadership of the group shortly, but first we take you to Parliament, where the minority yesterday blocked the lane of this legislative instrument from the Ministry of Trade and Industry, which seeks to regulate the pricing of cement products in Ghana.
There is a reason for the pre-laying, and this House by convention has agreed that the subsidiary legislations, particularly in the form of legislative instruments and constitutional instruments, must go through pre-laying. It is all the constitutional imperative in Article 11(7) to the effect that when the document is laid, you can't even cross T or change a dot unless you have two-thirds majority to annul it. Mr. Speaker, we all know this is a delegated function, subsidiary legislation. Mr. Speaker, the Supreme Court in various cases upheld that once the document is laid, you can't do anything about it until you have two-thirds majority to annul it, and automatically it will mature after 21 sitting days. So, what will be the means by which Parliament would at least make an input to the document that will come before the House and mature to be law after 21 sitting days? Hence, the convention and the practice to do a pre-laying. And this convention and the practice was in this particular House before myself, and then majority leader.
You heard Bernard Ahiafor there, his ranking member on the Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee in Parliament, while he's arguing that the LI must go through pre-laying stages before finally being laid on the floor. This will aid consultation. Well, the majority in the House disagrees. Majority Leader Alexander Feyon-Markin says the NDC's insistence on pre-laying every single LI is alien to the Constitution. Let's listen to him.
When the paper is laid, it is meant to be referred to the appropriate committee to deal with it. It is at that committee level that issues that we all have could be looked at that committee level. Mr. Speaker, this issue of if an instrument and the pre-laying would mean that we should engage the same committee to look at it before it is laid. Mr. Speaker, it adds up to nothing. In any event, any matter arising thereto can still be resolved, and when the document is properly before the committee, the committee will be seized with jurisdiction only if we lay and a referral made. Mr. Speaker, just for the avoidance of doubt, Article 11C. I will get there. I will get there. I will get there. With respect, I will get there. But let's state what the law says. And if we want to, because you see, Mr. Speaker, today you think that it's a comfortable route to use. But no, I've defined it, Mr. Speaker. I've been in this house not too long, but long enough to know some of the practices and conventions of the house.
Well, the Chamber of Cement Manufacturers, Ghana, they have submitted a petition to Parliament. They're demanding the rejection of this proposed legislative instrument on price regulation. They also they argue that the Trades Minister, Katie Hammond, failed to consult key stakeholders. We'll engage them shortly. But first, how did we get here? Our graphics team put together some data. Let me share that with you. Now, this is the trend in cement prices and the average price of cement over the years. Now, the graphic you see there starts from May 2012, where cement was selling at 14 cedis. It climbs to the year 2014, where cement price was going for 31 cedis. Now, if you move to the month of March in the year 2022, cement price also climbed to 55 cedis. In August of that same year 2022, it rose to 59 cedis. In September of that year, it rose to 71 cedis, and then 81 cedis. And then finally in the year 2023, November, which is last year, it was selling at 80 cedis. But unfortunately, now we're in the month of May in the year 2024, and a bag of cement is going for as high as 82 Ghana cedis. Now, what is the impact? When you have cement prices rising, let's gauge the impact. Now, we start from the rising cement price, and it's a circle. You have then increased construction costs, because if I have to spend more to buy cement, then I have to increase my construction costs. Now, what is the implication for me as an end user? It means the price of homes will be higher. That is the reason why you are paying more for rent. That's also the reason why when you have to buy a property right now, you pay more for that. But I'm sure Joy Niece's Habitat Fair will teach you how to get your homes for a more affordable price. But then the cycle continues, because when there is higher home prices, you have a reduction in housing demand. So a lot of people cannot afford to buy the housing, or they cannot afford to pay the rent. And so there's a reduction in the demand for housing. And what does this mean for that sector? It means that you have reduced housing affordability, and that leads to an increment in our housing deficit. Well, today on Newsdesk, we'll be speaking to the Cement Manufacturers Association to get their thoughts on this. Now, the next slide here talks about the Ghana Statistical Service housing deficit, and this is from the year 2010 and the year 2021. As at 2010, it stood at 2.8 million. That's Ghana's housing deficit as at 2010. Now, in 2021, we came down a bit to 1.8 million. That's some good gains. Now, the rising cement cost concerns from cement manufacturers. What are their concerns? Let's get into that. They're concerned about the depreciation of the cedi, and that has increased production costs. Tariffs, levies, and taxes imposed by other authorities, such as Ghana Ports and Harbours authorities, are in dollars. Well, we'll come back to this story because this is happening right now, so we have to take you to the court. The Court of Appeal has thrown out an application filed by Reverend Victor Kwesi Boateng, a member of the Board of Trustees of the National Cathedral Project. Well, the suit sought to restrain the Member of Parliament from North Tone, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, from discussing him in relation to the National Cathedral. Now, prior to this ruling, the founder and overseer of the Power Chapel International had lost 2 similar suits at the High Court. Let's cross over live now. My colleague Latif Idrisu is on the grounds. He joins me with details. Latif, what's happening as we speak?
I should start.
Latif, you're live. Tell me what's happening.
This just happened here at the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal, as you know it, has come through with a determination. And the determination of the Court of Appeal is that the application filed by the Member of Parliament for North Tone, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, has been upheld by the court. And so his application was to deal with Reverend Kwesi Boateng's own application here at the Court of Appeal, asking the Court of Appeal to overturn a decision by an Accra High Court that dismissed his application for Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa to be constrained from speaking about him, Reverend Kwesi Boateng, with regards to the National Cathedral project. So the Member of Parliament followed Reverend Kwesi Boateng here at the Court of Appeal to file his own application, asking the Court of Appeal to dismiss Reverend Kwesi Boateng's own application for appeal. Essentially, Reverend Kwesi Boateng's argument was that the Accra High Court that dismissed his application of contempt erred when they determined that his application does not meet their own standard, and in fact it is immature and incompetent. That was his argument. Now today the Court of Appeal has come through with a determination that Okudzeto is right. Therefore, Reverend Kwesi Boateng's own application here at the Court of Appeal is incompetent, does not meet the requirement and the rules of the Court of Appeal, and consequently, Reverend Kwesi Boateng's application here at the Court of Appeal has been dismissed. And the court also preferred, not the court, Thaddeus Sory had asked the court to give them some damages up to the tune of 5,000 Ghana cedis. Bobby Banson, who is representing Reverend Kwesi Boateng, pleaded the court, and so it came down to 3,000 Ghana cedis cost awarded to Okudzeto Ablakwa for the time and the energy and the effort they put in appearing before the Court of Appeal. But prior to that, there was an earlier ruling the court had to deal with regards to yesterday's objection raised by Thaddeus Sory with regards to the newly constituted panel. A panel, according to Thaddeus Sory, was initially headed by Justice Jamefe, but when the panel sat yesterday, Justice Jamefe was not on that particular panel, and so Thaddeus Sory raised an objection and said that newly constituted panel will not endear fair hearing to Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, and so he objected to it. So the court came through with a determination on that and said that objection by Thaddeus Sory was dismissed, and so they then cleared that off the way and then moved on to the substantive matter of whether or not Okudzeto Ablakwa's application asking for the Court of Appeal to dismiss Reverend Kwesi Boateng's own application will be heard. The court heard it and gave a lengthy explanation and reasoning why they think Reverend Kwesi Boateng's application did not meet the rules of the Court of Appeal and therefore described same as incompetent, and thus struck it out here at the Court of Appeal. Fosti.
This is a controversy raging. This is not the first time that Kwesi Boateng has challenged the court ruling. When you engaged him after the court's judgment, what was his posture?
Yeah, so Okudzeto Ablakwa, like always, was calm, and he walked out of the courtroom after the declaration by the Court of Appeal, and he engaged the media. I'll come to that briefly, but let me also go back into the courtroom because it is not done yet. Reverend Kwesi Boateng has yet another case here at the appeals court. This time, he's looking at the human rights, quote-unquote, abuses by Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa. So that one, the Court of Appeal will also sit on that. And it has to do with the same case, the same National Cathedral issue, the same fact that Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, as part of his work as a parliamentarian, doing his work of oversight, came across documents that suggested to him that one human being has two identities. Reverend Kwesi Boateng also has a name as Kwabena Edu Gyamfi. And so he took up the issue that Reverend Kwesi Boateng feels that Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa has breached his right of privacy. And so that one is also sitting here at the Court of Appeal. His lawyers have asked that they will go ahead and come up with additional grounds for them to at least get a favorable outcome from the court. Bear in mind, Faustina, this is the third time Reverend Kwesi Boateng has suffered a defeat in his quest to kind of save his face, if you like, with regards to the National Cathedral project, his involvement, his double identity, and all of that. In all three attempts so far, Reverend Kwesi Boateng, a.k.a. Kwabena Edu Gyamfi, has failed and has lost. He has a last chance, which is on the leg of the human rights abuses which he claims Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa has tempered with. So the Court of Appeal will hear that. Now back to Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa's demeanor when he came to court, calm, after the ruling, calm, but he's asking the question whether this is a fair price to pay as a parliamentarian who is doing nothing but carrying out his duties of oversight. And that was when he came across this double identity by Reverend Kwesi Boateng, a.k.a. Kwabena Edu Gyamfi. And so he's asking if this is a fair price to pay as a member of parliament doing his work of oversight. But he says he's not deterred. This is not going to let him down. He's going to go all out, do more to ensure that the Ghanaian people benefit, even if it has to deal with a Government of Ghana project or a private endeavor for that matter.
Thank you so much, Latif. We'll leave you to go back to court, and we'll be giving you updates as the day goes on. That's coming straight from the court right now. The court has dismissed a suit filed by Kwesi Boateng, challenging how Okudzeto Ablakwa has conducted himself and keeps raising issues about how he has manned the board of the National Cathedral. Now, let's take you back to our initial story. We're discussing the continuous rise in cement prices and an LI being proposed by the Ministry of Trades and Industry to help regulate that industry. Now, before we went to Latif, we were giving you a breakdown of some of the graphics, and we told you that we'd be hearing from the chamber, and they have released a statement. It's on your screens right now. The Chamber of Cement Manufacturers Ghana. Now, they've sent a petition to Parliament challenging this legislative instrument. And that statement reads, "We members of the Chamber of Cement Manufacturers Ghana write to you, referring to Parliament, with grave concern regarding the recent legislative instrument proposed to Parliament by the Minister of Trade and Industry, which seeks to regulate cement price." Now, the next paragraph, they say, "It is with deep surprise that we note that this proposal was made without any prior consultation with key stakeholders in the cement industry." Now, that's one of the concerns they're raising. They say that the Minister of Trades and Industry failed to consult with stakeholders. And this actually adds to the minority concern that there should have been a pre-laying of this instrument where there should be consultation with stakeholders before the LI is laid on the floor. Now, it goes on to say, particularly the cement manufacturers, so they're referring to who they want engagement to be with the cement manufacturers. And they say such an approach undermines the principles of fairness, transparency, and inclusive decision-making, which are vital for the effective governance and regulation of the industry. They go on to say, we firmly believe that the issues leading to the escalation of cement prices are complex and multifaceted and primarily driven by the rapid, consistent depreciation of the Ghanaian cedi against the US dollar. So the cedi depreciation comes into play again. So in the light of these concerns, they say they respectfully petition Parliament to decline the proposed legislative instrument, and they urge that the Minister of Trade and Industry engage with the Chamber of Cement Manufacturers and other relevant stakeholders to discuss and address the underlying causes of this price escalation. And they feel that such collaborative approach will enable them to develop effective and sustainable solutions that would be considered in the interest of all parties involved. That's a statement from the cement manufacturers. They are pushing for Parliament to pull the brakes on this LI that the Trade Minister is proposing. And they're concerned that there hasn't been enough stakeholder engagement before this LI was introduced on the floor. Now, former NPP National Chairman Freddie Blay has challenged Okudzeto Ablakwa for making what he calls wild allegations against him and his family. Okudzeto claims that Blay's son, Kwao Blay, used his father's influence to arbitrarily take over the beachfront of Labadi Beach Hotel and establish the Polo Beach Club, despite a prior agreement with the hotel. Well, he described this as state capture and a plot to politically expose persons to acquire state properties. At a news conference held at Polo Beach Club, Freddie Blay refuted these allegations, calling them malicious and a smear campaign against his family. Michael Ashali was there. He filed this report.
Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa has claimed in various media engagements that Kwao Blay, son of former NPP chairman Freddie Blay, has taken over the beachfront of Labadi Beach Hotel. He alleges that the Blays, using Freddie Blay's influence, established the luxurious Polo Beach Club on the property, bypassing a pre-existing partnership with the hotel.
Freddie Blay's sons, they have a friend called Loic DeVos Jr., Belgian Ghanaian, I'm told. I don't know him, never met him. And from the court documents, he came up with this idea that the president has announced a year of return. Labadi Beach Hotel is an iconic brand. Let's take advantage of their the beachfront, bring in artists, and then do an entertainment extravaganza. Let's launch the Polo Beach Club events. And then they go see Labadi Beach Hotel. They sign a joint venture agreement on how to share the proceeds. They say that all the patrons, those attending the events, should come through Labadi Beach entrance, the main reception, so that everybody can see, and then they can calculate the gate proceeds. After the event, profits are made, then the elbowing begins. Loic DeVos Jr. is elbowed out. Labadi Beach.
But there's no evidence that elbows was done.
It's
not proven yet.
No, it's you see.
That's a claim of yours.
No, you know, they are, if you go through the court documents, you see initial rulings and all of that. They themselves concede that their relations have broken down.
The now embattled former chairman of the NPP, Freddie Blay, after a brief tour of the entire facility, addressed a news conference on the premises of Polo Beach Club.
The beachfront that some people are on the rooftop shouting that it's been blocked and so forth by the Polo Beach Club. You could see more than half of it. It's also blocked. They have built a wall. No. So what are you talking about? Who are you complaining for?
He disputed assertions that his son had taken over the entire beachfront.
Or doing something together in 2019. And from 2019 on, they were making money, yes. we were also making money. And they said, I'm talking about we, because I'm talking about my. But at some stage, they said they wanted more. And the young man says, no, you can't have more. I'm doing everything else. And he said, then in that case, you can't use our park. In that case, we will not allow you to use some of our facilities. Unfortunately, the La Traditional Council made available the park, and he's operating on his own.
He also refuted claims that he used his political connections to secure the beachfront.
Definitely, there's no political manipulation, there's no political influence, nothing of this sort in respect of what you are seeing and what you yourself have gone through. If you like, ask the Labadi Beach Hotel authorities and go and ask the La Traditional Council. Now, when you take a state capital, what exactly do you mean? People have forgotten the history of this country. Go and ask Sunyani, Kitchen Rest House. It was government that built it. Who is now owning it? Go and ask. Go to Tamale, Kitchen Rest House. Please let me finish. Go and ask Tamale, who is owning Kitchen Rest House. It's a politician and associated with NDC. 31st December, I don't want to rake old quarrels. 31st December had bought more than 26 entities, companies, economic activities that government have started. They bought them. They belong to the NDC.
He says in the coming days, he will begin court processes against the MP for North Tongue.
Shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, so what are you taking him to court?
You will hear from me. You hear from me that within this week, definitely I'll take him to court over it.
Freddie Blay agrees that one of the owners of the Polo Beach Club is his direct son. However, we have not heard from any of those owners yet. For Joy News, Michael Ashale.
From Accra, let's head to Kumasi because the Kumasi South Hospital's labor ward, which oversees the delivery of over 150 babies every month, has faced challenges with access to sterilization equipment, jeopardizing safe and clean delivery. Now, the ward uses an improvised method of high-level disinfection, which puts patients at risk of infection and disease transmission. There's more in this report by Clinton Yeboah.
Kumasi South Hospital handles over 1,500 baby deliveries yearly. Despite the huge numbers, quality delivery sessions are delayed and are seemingly being jeopardized with a lack of sterilization machine to cleanse delivery equipment. The hospital usually relies on its main central sterile supply department for sterilizing instruments or uses high-level disinfection method. Labor ward in charge, Lydia Ade, says this improvisation is ineffective, leading to significant delays and high infection risk.
And then that is normal deliveries. So with that, our instruments that we use, we don't have that much. We send our things to the main CSSD for sterilization. So sometimes when you get there, there are things there they have to sterilize. So unless they finish with those things before they attend to yours. So it takes a lot of time. So because of that, we don't normally send them there. So we rather do high-level disinfection, which is good, but it's not all that effective.
Lydia Day was therefore elated when the Garden of Eden Foundation made a donation of a new tabletop steam sterilizer and LED examination lamp to the maternity ward. The foundation also sought to mitigate the underprivileged mothers crowding the Kumasi South Hospital due to their inability to foot medical bills. A cash donation of 20,000 cedis was donated to discharge such mothers parading the premises of the hospital. The donation also included hospital bed sheets to improve patient experience.
Is very beneficial to us because, as I said, the rate of sterilization would increase because after every delivery, because the machine is there, we can sterilize it before using it for another client. We are very grateful to Grace Foundation. In fact, they've been of immense support to the labor ward of Kumasi South Hospital.
The Ghana rep for the Garden of Grace Foundation, Reverend Christopher Osei-Wusu, says quality health care is a priority to the foundation.
The only intention behind this is to ensure that those who are unable to pay their bills right after they are discharged from the hospital, it is our main objective and concern to ensure that they are also offset and have their freedom. it is the basic or our priority, the priority of the Garden of Grace Foundation, that those who are in need will be assisted.
Meanwhile, some underprivileged patients who are beneficiaries of the interventions expressed their gratitude. Reporting for Joy News, my name is Clinton Yabua.
Let's stay in the Ashanti region. Medical equipment installed at the Sewa Regional Hospital in the Ashanti region have their warranty expired even before they are put to use. Health Minister Dr. Okuboy, who is touring some facilities in the region, has assured government's preparedness to operationalize the facility in 3 months, but contractors on the project are proposing government secures additional warranty for the medical equipment. Naya Ujima has more in the following report.
The 250-bed Sewa Regional Hospital is one of the 9 hospital projects constructed by Aerojet the Invest across the country. All 43 medical and non-medical buildings sitting on a 25-acre land are completed, with most of the medical equipment fixed. Contractors say the facility was completed in September 2021, but operationalization has been delayed due to challenges with power and poor road connectivity. But they are unable to meet import duty on some furniture for the hospital.
All of the subcontractors now, they are claiming for all of this due period which has been delayed, and they are requesting for extension of time claims, plus delay damage claims and all of this. Plus the warranty which has already expired for all the equipment. Right now, if we are going to commission the hospital, we will need to buy again 1-year warranty from the suppliers. And this will cost again EDI too much. Plus also some of the equipment and furniture, we have it in the board. Due to the financial constraints, we couldn't pay for the clearance of those equipment and furniture, and we are incurring a lot of demurrage for this one.
Aside the power challenges, issues of water supply and internet connectivity were raised. Already, a power substation is at an advanced stage of completion. The road network to the hospital is in a poor shape, though it has been awarded on contract. Nonetheless, Dr. Okuboy is resolute on seeing the project operationalized in 3 months.
At least I've seen the roads. Even if we get drainage done, to do a road, the side drainage is very important. Once you have drainage and the margin of the road is defined, it shouldn't take a year forever to have from the main road to this place to have the works done. I've been told that by the regional minister that it's been given to a contractor. That is how we work at the ministry. We are going to even meet the contractor. We are not going to leave any gap. We don't want excuses. A project that started in 2008 should run out of excuses by now. And so, as for DG, DG and his team, Director General, they are very good at mobilizing themselves to operationalize the facility. So if we do 60 days and they do worst case 30 days, in the next 3 months, before September ends, we should be able to start having patients visiting this hospital.
Meanwhile, the Bekwai Hospital, which was commissioned under the present NPP administration, has become the game changer in healthcare delivery in the municipality. Cases from districts in the catchment are referred to the facility. The hospital has, however, encountered power challenges, among others. Dr. Ebenezer Osei Akoto is acting medical superintendent.
We have a peculiar issue in this hospital concerning our power. The engineers have told us that because of the machine, they built in a mechanism such that whenever there's power fluctuation from the ECG lines, the power to the hospital cuts. And that leads to frequent cuts of power to the hospital, and that interrupts our activity, care of patients and all that.
For Joy News, Nana Ujima, Kumasi.
Away from health, the Haven of Love Children Foundation, a Christian-based NGO, has organized a free medical screening exercise for vulnerable people in the Bawku West district of the Upper East region. The exercise was one of many community service gestures made by the organization founded by Joy News Impact Makers Award nominee Samuel Nana Beckham. There's more in this report by our correspondent Albert Sorry.
By a passion for giving back to the community, Samuel Nana Bekai Jirako started mobilizing his friends to embark on various projects to help the people of the Bawku West district as his contribution to bring some positive change to them. He says his passion stemmed from his experiences working with the people of this area during his national service in 2015.
But when I came precisely to Teshi community in the Bawku West district of the Upper East region of Ghana, I fell in love with the place. I saw the need. The poverty level made parents not to focus on their children. They were not intentional on their children. And a lot more going on in the community. And I had the leading from God to start this foundation.
Samuel later started the Haven of Love Children's Foundation, which has since 2018 engaged in various community service projects, including mobilizing teams of medical professionals to provide free health checks, consultations, and give medications to hundreds of residents in the Bawku West district. This year's medical outreach was no different.
For the past 4 days, we've been having medical screening exercise. It's free of charge in partnership with Comprehensive Rehabilitation Services Dansumen. We brought doctors from Bobuasi and Kumasi who are here sacrificing because of the love of Christ to make impact. And it's been amazing because a lot of people who don't have access to doctors have met doctors and interacted with them. So we are trying to partner with Ghana Health Service and help the people and introduce them to the fact that they need to have regular medical checkups.
A team of medical professionals led by doctors provided health screening services to residents covering blood pressure and sugar level checks, malaria and typhoid tests, dental and eye care consultations, distribution of medications and vitamins, among others.
For the screening that we have done so far, in one community we realized that most of the people, especially the men, had problems with their lower back pains and waist pains. In another community we realized they had high blood pressure as something that was running through, common to most of them. For the children, what we have realized is the anemic situation, like they look like they are malnourished, and then their blood HB levels were lower than they are supposed to be. As we've had nutritionists who have spoken to the people to educate them on healthy eating habits.
The medical screening exercise was conducted in 5 communities with a total of 1,200 people benefiting from it. Some of them spoke to Joy News.
I was able to meet the doctor and I was able to know what worries me and what I would do, or the foods I will eat and what I'm supposed to do. Yeah. In fact, I'm very happy.
They treated me well. They look at my BP and my BP is okay. My daughter is very weak. She has not feeling appetite to eat. But as of now, they gave her a medicine that can help her to eat more and get help.
Samuel Nana Bekai Jirako has been nominated in the Health and Social Welfare category of this year's Joy News Impact Makers Awards due to the lives he has touched with the Haven of Love Children's Foundation. He is hopeful that he will be honored with the award so that with the recognition that comes with it, he can touch more lives in many more communities across the Upper East region. For Joy News, Albert Sorry, Zebila, Bawku West District.
Well, the 2024 edition of the Joe News Impact Makers Award is coming up this Saturday at Accra International Conference Center. It's at 7 p.m. Do stay tuned to all our social media handles. Joe News on TV will bring you live coverage as we award a new set of 10 different individuals who are making a change in their community. Now, as we wrap up, Wale Wale Senior High Technical School is making a comeback to the National Science and Maths Quiz after securing victory in their regional qualifiers against rivals. The school has, in at least 3 years, failed to book their seat at the national tournament. But in a battle against its regular competitors, the school escaped a near defeat against Bumprungu SHS and Nalerugu Senior High School. There's more in this report by Emmanuel Brightkweku.
We are proud and proud to be as Wasatec. Our motto is success. Is success. To rule. Headway. To God bless. God bless. God bless Wasatec every day.
For 5 years, Wale Wale SHTS have not qualified, but now they have qualified, coming to the nationals. They beat Bumprungu SHS, Nalerugu SHS, and Nampanduri SHS to make this historic qualification. I can see you guys making a sign. What that is?
The Scorpion is for the team. The Scorpion. Yes, the Scorpions. The Scorpions. But is the tail. We'll face it. Yes, and we really enjoy it. Yes, we're prepared and we are coming for everybody.
Now, I want to find out why you decided to choose a scorpion of all the totems you can use. Why?
Because the scorpion looks small but mighty. So that's why we decided to choose the scorpion. When you tag the tail, you shall regret.
We never slept last night and we decided that we must win. We must win this contest today. Otherwise, we shall not go back to school.
We are so excited, very, very excited. I mean, excited because yes, that's 5 years ago. We have never qualified. So this year we are so prepared that the grace of God was with us and we have won it.
Now at the national championship, we have experienced schools. Even in your zonals, we have Tamasco. They call themselves the Lions. Are you not sure the Lion is just going to trample on you?
We are not going to get any lion. The Lions are not strangers to us. Yes, they have been wounded before. Yes, so we are waiting for everybody. Yes, we are well prepared. Even give the message to Presage. If you go tell them, Wale Wale is coming for them.
And that's how excited the students from Damango SHS feel after qualifying yet again to the nationals. They beat Bupe SHS and Bole SHS to qualify and represent the Savannah region in this year's national championship.
Look at them watching. Let them watch. They watch. Let them watch. Look at them dancing. Let them dance. They dance. Let them dance.
Now come to me. I want to. Who is dancing and who is watching?
All of us are dancing. All of us are watching.
I thought you were going to say Bole or Bupe.
Even Bupe, they are watching. All of them are watching. Bole and Bupe, they are watching. But we are dancing. We are jubilating.
Prepare and them call themselves big boys, but precisely everybody hot. Try to hot. Move there. Nobody wonder how Comoros could score Ghana. So they should wait for us. We are coming. Yes, we are all 9-month babies.
Interestingly, when I met Wale Wale, they said they are coming with a scorpion.
Oh, we are scorpions. We are scorpions. 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 Fighting time. Ahua. We are there.
The news text. We're taking a quick breather. When we return, business come your way. Do stay tuned in.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to the business news on Joy News Desk with me, Pius Kojo Baka. Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the Association of Ghana Industries, Chiana Mapelu, has backed calls for government to invest the $8 billion it has saved from the debt restructuring with external creditors to some critical sectors of the economy. He's been speaking to Joy Business.
Money's coming in. Generally, there will always be some sort of stability. I mean, we're happy that there's more money to play with, and there's more money coming to pushing, we knew the benefit of the economy, that we all agree. But as to how this money will be spent to the productive sectors and to at least ensure that we quickly support, products that we can produce locally and minimize the importation of those products, it's really our concern. And also how judiciously these resources are going to be spent, to ensure that the productive sectors are given the needed attention. So, yes, we believe that it's at least in the interim, it's something that we can work with, but we're very concerned about how these resources will be spent, especially whether it will be in favor of industry, whether we are going to continue to promote production of those products that we have competitive advantage over, and also minimize importation of these finished products. So really, these are some of our concerns.
Zonda Tech Ghana has announced the commissioning of an automotive assembling plant in the next couple of months. This forms part of the company's resolve to support government's agenda of making Ghana an automotive hub. Executive Director of the company, Yang Yang, explained that the company continues to train hundreds of youths to offer technical services. She spoke to Joy Business at the launch of the GWM Tank 300 luxurious countryside vehicle and the GWM Power Pickup brands.
The two vehicles, the GWM Tank 300, a luxurious SUV with a touch of advanced technology, is built for diverse terrains, while the GWM Power Pickups offer users a combination of durability, affordability, and a multifunctional system for tough terrains. All vehicles cater to both urban and rural neighborhoods, ensuring safety, comfort, style, and affordability. To achieve its goal of beginning vehicle assembly by August 2024, the company has trained hundreds of youth as engineers for technical assistance. The chief executive of Zonda Tech Ghana, Yang Yang, spoke to Joy Business at the launch of the vehicles.
We already have a training center in Zonda inside. Every time we train 150 Ghanaians. Like for the past 5 years, Zonda has been continuously training every year 4 times in Tema and in Kumasi for the drivers for free, the safe driving. So now, from February of this month, our factory engineers has come to Ghana. We have been training Ghanaian engineers for over 3 months. Then they go back, they take our engineers back to China for training again. Now they're coming back to Ghana to do training again. So it's a continuous training for Ghanaians.
She hinted at plans to assemble electric vehicles in Ghana in the coming years.
Definitely, Ghana government, you want the auto industry to develop. Once the auto industry is developing, Zonda is also developing, because Zonda, we're not only having manufacturing centers in Ghana for heavy and light trucks, also for pickups. In the future, we're also going to do manufacturing of electrical cars. So Zonda is growing with Ghana's economy and Ghana's government agenda.
The Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry, Michael Otrebefi, explained that the government is committed to establishing Ghana as an automotive hub in the sub-region.
I can confidently announce here today that the Power Pickup has been registered under the Ghana Automotive Development Program to be assembled locally, whilst the Tank 300 will be added in a year or 2. This will further bring down the prices of these vehicles based on the government package of incentives for the assembling of vehicles locally.
Zonda Tech Ghana Limited, in partnership with Great Wall Motors, has consistently demonstrated its commitment to innovation, quality, and customer satisfaction.
That's it for Business on Joy News Desk. I am Pius Kojo Baka.
Well, that's it for NewsDesk. For more news, please log on to myjoyonline.com. Some top stories there. Reverend Kusi Boateng suffers third defeat against Ablakwa as Court of Appeal throws him out. We'll get you more details in subsequent bulletins. My name is Faustina Safo. Have a pleasant day as you enjoy the rest of our programs.